Roots.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, look at this.
Throwback.
Kelra goes carry, and Oheb goes Claude. Tail is oldest time. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Did the
Desk
same
here for game
Welcome
number
to
2,
Mobile
the
Legends.
second match of the day. I'm Nicer, joined here on the desk with Ingan, and we'll see. We'll see if this is going to go to another game 3 like we had in the first series today, or if it's going to end up with a sweep and FNATIC ONIC still maintaining that undefeated streak here. But I don't know, how do you feel? How do you feel about this little change up now too for Blacklist International that we see? I like the fact that you still have kind of coverage here. And like Rockhart mentioned,
Yeah.
you've got the old classic matchup between the two gold laners. We've seen this time and time again, the carry and the Claude.
You know, I'm still holding on to what I said earlier today.
Tell me about it.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
So I think Blacklist, if they execute this perfectly, they can force a game 3. And Lord JM, instead going with a high loss for me is a more safer pick. Can do Lord JM things like zone out and soak up the damage instead of, you know, the Terizla, because if you don't hit the penalty zone, you're basically over. Yeah.
Yeah, I like, and that's the thing. Whoa, there's Oheb.
Okay,
Oh,
Kelra
no.
gonna get sandwiched again. Who's gonna get the kill? Super Prince this time wants to bounce back from a 0-0 start.
Did you see? Like, Kelra knew what he did, and then he's like, yeah, I got my buddies here as well. Ends up going and securing a first blood for the team. Win in the hands of Super Prince, and this is also a very, I would say, comfortable pick for Super Prince. He loves this Valentino. We've seen him do it before, even back in his debut season,
Yeah.
and it was a standout hero for him. Now, going back to it, I don't want to pick on Lord JM too much from game number 1, but he was concentrated on so much that I think it really stalled out the game plan of Blacklist in
Yeah.
game number 1. So this time around, yeah, like you mentioned, I also like this high-lows better in his hands. He's able to go ahead and drop down, you know, even the glorious pathway the way he wants. Look at this fight for the turtle, though.
Look at the two frontliners of Blacklist. Not even bother. The Super Prince cast his glorious pathway. Kirks goes in all the way to the back line. Who's going to get the turtle?
Wow.
MP the King picks up the turtle, but Kirk comes now. Lord JM pops the glorious pathway just to delay FNATIC ONIC's counterattack. Blacklist gets the turtle.
All right, great. Blacklist gets the turtle there. But, man, I felt bad for a little bit because you are the Hylos, and Super Prince takes your glorious pathway before you hit level 4. Luckily, he ended up getting it after the turtle's already secured so he could cut off the path. But, you know, either way, at least for Blacklist International, they get the objective, they get that secured, and no one ends up, you know, going down any further during the exchange. Great placements there also with the ultimates that they had available to them, but right now it's more or less just stable. You know, this stable early game, and they can play around it. They can have that opportunity in the early game to go ahead and scale up the way they need, because I don't know about you, Ringan, but I actually like Blacklist International's early game potential. Like, it's there with a Julian and an Aurora, but late game as well, they should be able to shine.
Here comes. Oh, it was Super Prince who catch that Frigid Glacier. For me, Blacklist, I think they doubled down too much on crowd control on AoE to the point wherein if Oheb's not in the picture, they're going to have trouble dealing with the sustain and damage coming in from FNATIC. A Super Prince gets a Frosty Breeze there. So, yeah, again, if Oheb's going to have a bad start, he's 0-1-0, and this continues, I think FNATIC ONIC's easily going to snowball and end the game in like 12-13 minutes, if that happens.
So you're thinking an early, what would that be, after the first Lord? You think that's a game-winning push from FNATIC ONIC?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Second Lord. I'll give it second Lord.
Put it at second Lord? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing is, like, for Blacklist International, and, you know, maybe in the chat you guys can let us know, because there's not too much action happening right now, but is it more or less for Blacklist International to get to the late game where then Oheb is shining and he's locked in on the Claude like we've seen time and time again? Let us know what you guys think, because the fight for this turtle is going to break out now.
Okay, glorious pathway for Lord JM. Zone out Kirk and King Kong. Super Prince has the Frigid Glacier. Not going to use it yet. And this time, Kirk.
Wow.
Kirk's been getting all neutral objectives. Still has I'm Offended play, though, as Frigid Glacier will be casted. Haji's going to get there. Oh, look at that pull coming in from Kirk. Counterattack coming in from Haji, but there's just too many Sonics up against the agents. Lord JM is going to fall down. A double kill for King Kong. And now look at the 1v1 here in the gold lane. And do you notice that Kirk has been getting the Lords, the Turtles, ever since game number 1?
I said
It's
this
all
in game
Kirk.
1, man. It's the game above. It's in
The
the audience. The
heartthrob
buff. Is- the heartthrob buff. He's got it. And he's on point right now. And even with that, like you already saw the fighting potential from FNATIC ONIC's lineup. The hard part about all of this is you pick the Aurora. If you're Blacklist International, you have it to fight in those choke points and to follow up through your Tigreal. But then Super Prince, man, how many times have we seen Super Prince take the right ultimate at the right time?
Okay, speaking of right ultimate, here comes the Frigid Glacier once again, but Haji casts his as well, preventing King Kong from going in with the Lycan Pounce. And now I think this is a free bottom lane turret for FNATIC.
They should be able to push that. But this is what I'm saying. Oh, Lord JM, going to take a couple shots. Should be fine. Tanky enough as well. And that's what I'm wondering for Blacklist International. When you're trying to play against what Super Prince has been doing, like it's really has been Super Prince being a nuisance to Blacklist lineup. And they have to be able to go ahead and just fight at some point in this game as things continue to scale. 2,000 gold ahead for FNATIC ONIC, and they're not even doing anything fancy.
Okay, that's a good position for Spider Miles. He knows the conceal, able to provide information for King Kong. That's why he's able to escape. But look at this kill coming in. Oheb with the Blazing Duet wants to bring down King Kong, and they will do it successfully. But at what cost? A lot of ultimates. So that's why they need to take this turret down to make it more worth it.
They just decided to go ahead and trade. Turtle's going to be taken now mid lane, the focus here. Lord JM dropping the pathway.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Kirk goes in with the Don't Run Wolf King as Lord JM pops his vengeance. So we saw a swap roll between King Kong and Kelra. Kelra's the one who got the turtle, focused on the neutral objective, and King Kong was the one trying to push the bottom lane there.
You be the jungle for a little bit. You know, we'll go ahead and work up off of it.
Because Kirk's the one getting the neutral objectives anyway. What's my use?
And at this point, you can see the items fall into place here. Orax, double Ward Axe is being picked up from FNATIC ONIC. Now the focus on this mid lane. And that's the thing. I think, you know, our panelists even mentioned this. The ability to just, oh, hold on, Super Prince.
Oh, Super Prince also has a glorious pathway. It's now a chase.
Oh,
and
man.
TP's in front of Lord JM. Quick thinking, fast hands over Super Prince.
If you got a pathway, I got a pathway.
Yeah.
If you got a Frigid Glacier, I got that too. You know, like, Super Prince has just been doing it all game. But that's what I'm talking about. The panel mentioned they can brute force their way. Okay. Kirk again.
I'm offended onto MP the King, but he's going to escape that. Spider-Miles going to cast the Curse of Blood. Going to connect onto one, but Perks on the conceal with the implosion, connecting onto two, plus the push. 5 members of Blacklist are here, but the Terrify from Super Prince prevented Blacklist.
Good Kelra. Kelra's
Kelra
placing.
waiting. Okay.
All right, he's just there to possibly do something further. Super Prince, glorious pathways.
2 glorious pathways once again. Kirk wants to go for a pull there as they work on the middle lane turret and now going to disengage. Man, I just like to commend Super Prince. Did you see the Terrify? That was a good catch already for Perks.
Yeah.
And Haji even casted the Frigid Glacier. If Super Prince didn't do the Terrify, Blacklist would dive in, go in, because they were 5 agents during that time.
That's always the difficult part when you're dealing with a Valentina. And also, I mean, Kelra wasn't part of that fight, but also just having that Purify also helps, obviously, with those exchanges with that setup potential. And so I feel like that's been the problem that Blacklist International has had to solve. Like, they need to go and break this code. It's Kirk again.
Gonna find out there's the 2 glorious pathways. Lord JM in the midst of everything. No casualties just yet. And a hard reset here for both teams.
All right, they're not, I don't think either team can really commit to a Lord fight unless they're able to go ahead and push out one of the side lanes even a little bit more here. Blacklist still wants to get that tier 2 possibly if they can push it in, but Kelra will keep that kind of under control. And so they find themselves dancing it off for the Lord. We talked about, or I should say, you mentioned the 12-minute mark. We'll see if either team can actually secure the first Lord here. It's going to be worked on by Kelra. They don't really have to push this too much. Glorious pathway available. Perks conceal, but won't be able to find his own angle that he was looking for.
10 seconds before the flicker for Perks.
He has he's able to make the move. Again, they go in here, just pushing Super Prince and Kirk back a little bit further.
They're giving it to Lord JM this time. Is he going to be able to cast a glorious pathway? He did, plus the vengeance, but he's going to fall down. That's 1 member down for Blacklist. Now, are they going to go for the Lord, or do they want to go for the kill? Okay, they're going to go for the Lord. 3.5k gold lead, still standing strong for the Sonics.
That's the thing. Blacklist knows they're down a member. Perks, he's kind of got the...
Look at
Whoa!
Kelra! Forcing Perks to use the implosion because of the damage. Now flickers out. That's one. Oh, Frigid Glacier will connect onto 3, but there's no follow-up coming in from Blacklist.
I don't know. MP the King might try to at least get some more vision on this. They know at least Super Prince is low, but it's too late as King Kong gets the Lord there. Kind of disjointed, but objective secured for FNATIC ONIC. 10.5 minutes in. Nice lead for them as well. Blacklist will be on the defense. And really, your eyes have to be on Oheb now. Is Oheb where he needs to be item-wise on this Claude? You see the wind of nature now being picked up here for Kelra. And that's going to be tough because you also not only have to take care of Oheb. Yes, he's got to purify. Yes, he could BMI on out of there. But you also got to be able to catch down these members of FNATIC ONIC.
Okay, now they're just waiting. Super Friend still hasn't gotten any ultimate yet as the Lord marches in the bottom lane. I'd just like to commend Kelra before that Lord clash. He actually zoned out Perks 1v1, forced Perks to use the implosion and the flicker, and even forced Haji to use the Frigid Glacier. So Keller's been doing everything, even going up against Oheb, 0-0-2. But the things that he do says more than his KDA.
And that's what makes him so great. Kirk won't be able to land that one, but they're going to deal with this Lord push here, cutting it off with a glorious pathway. Meanwhile, in the mid lane,
another 1v1 between the two junglers. Oh, look at the basic attacks from MP and King Kong, but MP's damage was just way too much as Blacklist bursts down the Lord and defends their inhibitor turrets.
Okay, they hold on to the turrets for now, so it's not going to be the 12-minute mark just yet. Maybe off that second Lord, they get themselves enough time to kind of build up to actually contest it. That would be the best case scenario for Blacklist International, but like you said, I think one of the big problems is Kelra too. He's so...
Oh, they can go for Oheb this time? Oh, but...
He's
gotta respect. Gotta respect. Oheb still has the Purify, so at any time he could also go out.
Oh, look at this. Time and time again, man. It's Super Friends taking this glorious pathway. Every single time Lord JM initiates, you better bet there's another glorious pathway put down. And half the time, that's all that Super Friends is going to take. And that's why I'm saying, you know, we haven't even... Honestly, the Carmilla pick, when you get to this point in the game, you see the items being locked in here. One Curse of Blood could just decimate Blacklist International, and that's what they've been building up for.
Yeah.
And that's what's difficult to kind of play against when you get to the objective mark, and you're 30 seconds away from this Lord here. If Blacklist can get a pick-off, I would love to see them get at least one member down of FNATIC ONIC to give them that advantage for the Lord take, because right now, this kind of passive level of play, you just fall further and further behind, you know, in terms of economy.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to do because looking at the battle spells of FNATIC ONIC, they basically have 3 Purifies. But again, Blacklist, they're not just going to rely on the implosion because they also have the glorious pathway and Frigid Glacier from Haji. So I do agree, a pick-off would be great for Blacklist, but that's a really, really costly pick-off. They have to expend a lot of ultimates just to take one down.
Yeah, they got to throw a lot at this, and you know, FNATIC knows this. Again, Super Prince still holding on to Glorious Pathway himself. Reset and Lord's going to go through.
Kirk gets Oheb there, forces the Purify and the Blazing Duet. Here comes the attack.
There it is.
To Glorious Pathway. The first man down is Spider Mouse. The next one is Perks, a roamer for a roamer. Lord J pops his vengeance, but he's not going to out-sustain the damage coming in from Kelra with a double kill. And now they're going right after Kirk. The Heartthrob will fall down as King Kong works on the Lord. The Frigid Glacier from Haji as King Kong secures the Lord. It's a 3v3. Will they still go? MP still at full head. Oheb BMI's in onto Super Prince. What an exchange, 2-for-2. Both roamers and XP laners fall down, but FNATIC got the Lord.
And it started the way it should have. You know, they went for a pickoff. They managed to get one, and then, I don't know, it just didn't seem synced up properly from Blacklist International to the point where they weren't sure if they should have continued fighting on. Even the Retribution earlier was used to secure a kill. So still, they find themselves on the defense here, and now FNATIC ONIC will go ahead and charge in, walk in with this Lord here. Blacklist has the tools to go ahead and hold on to hopefully their base turrets, if not at least one of them. They'll clear up the Lord pretty quickly. They hold down as much as they can. It won't get that charge in. So right now they're going to drop it in. Glorious Pathway, drop down, hold on. But they deal with the Lord. Blacklist has to hold on to the base turrets here. Looking at that last fight, though, you could see where even if Kirk starts a fight against them, they have the tools, they have the power now to fight back in the team fights.
That's a good decision for Fnatic. Even if they have the second Lord, they could actually dive, but the problem was all their purifies were on cooldown. That's why they didn't want to risk it. Perks, they also know that has the Flicker Implosion play going up, the 2 XP laners going at it. I think Blacklist are going to be able to extend this game and wait for OHEB to reach his power spike. But again, the question remains, will they be able to get a pick-off like you mentioned? Because they have the kit. At this point, they don't have to necessarily expend a lot of ultimates just to bring one member down from FNATIC ONIC. So a pick-off would be really crucial for the agents.
And at this point, as you get further into this game, you know, the gold laners that we've been highlighting are really going to be shredding through that front line, and that's what the difficult part is. You think for Lord JM or for Perks, it's, you know, as simple as just getting a setup. I mean, we say that a lot. Just get the setup, the dream setup that you're looking for. But then once you get that and you're just being shredded down by a carry, especially now that the Malefic Aurora is there in the hands of Kelra, you're hoping that the follow-up is there. And that's what I'm saying. Based off the last fights, when we look at it, Blacklist has not been able to find the follow-through off a setup, whether it's from Lord JM cutting them off of Glorious Pathway or Perks. But that can all change with one team fight. As we wait for the next Lord here, you can see the items. They're in place. They're locked in. Especially OHEB. He could be a big game changer for a team fight off the setup of Perks or even Lord JM here.
Yeah.
And so as the game has gone, you know, they don't have as much space to work with in terms of FNATIC ONIC, but they are in fighting form to go ahead and secure themselves this Lord. Kirk, though, again, not going to find that I'm offended setup, so they push them back a little bit further here.
Look at Kelra. Look at Kelra's position, but MP the King knows he wants to go right after Kelra. Pops his Purify there. Curse of Blood will connect to 4 members. It's a Ghost Signal for the Sonics, but look at the damage coming in from OHEB. He's going to pop in by Spider Miles Immortality. There's a play coming in, but OHEB answers right back with a Blazing Duet to bring down Kirk and Spider Miles.
Well, they got to deal with that mid-wave being pushed in, too. Fnatic knows it. They're going to make a beeline to get that turret down. It looks like the rest of Blacklist will stay around the Lord. They hold on to the mid-turret. And so right now, Blacklist finds themselves a huge moment of hope in this game right now. They'll get the objective, and we're going to have to take a look at the instant replay brought to us by Infinix. This was a fight that Fnatic wanted. Spider Miles takes one too many shots. Kirk tries to help him out. They get collapsed down on. Kirk pulls. He pulls him even closer, by the way. And now,
trying to burst down the mid lane turret here. They also have Lord up top. And after all that, in 18 minutes, 90% of the time, Fnatic was dominating. It's Blacklist who gets an inhibitor first.
Okay. I'm surprised that they were able to just kind of run it down that far, end up getting a base turret. So take everything that's happened in the past, what, 5-6 minutes or so, and Blacklist has held on enough to not only take down a base turret, but also get rid of basically that 3 to 4K gold lead that FNATIC ONIC had. So I said it earlier, I said, you know, they're in fighting form to go for these objectives. We saw how that just went, and they still have, of course, that Lord there top side to work with. So they could possibly get more turrets, if not all of them, down for FNATIC ONIC. We'll see if this time around they have what it takes to go ahead and defense against a forced in push from Blacklist. Holding on, Super Friends has a Glorious Pathway himself. There's the pull.
There's a pull from Lord, JM, and the Glorious Pathway coming in from Super Friends as they work on the bottom lane inhibitor turret. All Purify still available for FNATIC ONIC. Perks has the Flicker and Deplosion as well. Gonna wait for the perfect setup and just serve OHEB. Let him cook. But FNATIC ONIC's defense is still there. They lost all inhibitor turrets. Now what's Blacklist call this time? Will they wait for the, what is it, third Lord?
Yeah, the fourth Lord.
The fourth Lord? I think they're going to do it because they have the advantage in terms of macro when it comes to the Lord dance later on. Even if you know FNATIC ONIC has immense micro and macro. Blacklist has the advantage because the inhibitor turrets of Fnatic are gone. So Blacklist can just play their cards right, play this methodically, play this by the wait for the Lord, and make sure not to get a pick off from Fnatic. Because one pick off can actually lead to a victory. They can just all go all in, go all mid after.
You know, when I look at this thing on, I almost like think with both these lineups here, and now that we're at the point where we're almost to the 4th Lord, I don't know about you, but it's almost a coin flip at this point. Like, both the lineups serve the same purposes. They both have great setup potential. And really, it also depends on what Super Prince takes for an ultimate. A lot of times win the Glorious Pathway, but you can see just kind of how patient both teams have to be. But I think you said it. The Purifies, the 3 Purifies here from FNATIC ONIC could change the course of a team fight from Blacklist International. You saw earlier when they went for the base defense that they waited the moments for that Glorious Pathway from Lord JM. They waited for the Frigid Glacier to be dropped down. And so those are things that has to be kept in mind here as Blacklist has their eyes set on Fnatic. You see Super Prince takes his own Frigid Glacier for this fight instead of the Glorious Pathway. So we'll see. Lord still for the taking. It's evolved up to this point now, 21 minutes in. It is going to hurt whoever is pretty much tanking it up.
Yeah, true damage.
So they got to juggle this around too.
Okay, so there's a big, fat, slow push brewing at the bottom lane that eventually Fnatic has to take care of as Blacklist keeps holding onto this Lord. A soft reset. They're not going to commit until they know that someone reacts to the bottom lane. It looks like it's going to be Super Prince. Now
push.
Blacklist bursting down the Lord. Lord JM and Perks, the 2 frontliners zoning out. Who's going to get the Lord? It's still going to go on to MP the King as Lord JM falls in the hands of King Kong. Now the counter attack coming in from Sonics. They want to fight. They have to. But Blacklist was able to disengage.
They disengage. They had to send someone to deal with that wave pushing in, and Blacklist knew it. So they go and play with the advantage, even at the cost of Lord JM. That's fine. They secured another Lord. You know, they'll go ahead and work around the fact that this is going to be the one to push in. So anytime you're in this position, your base is all exposed, you're down, you've got pretty good clear at least. I would say, you know, you're trying to clear things out the best you can, but the clear is better from Blacklist International. So even if the Lord just gets near the base, this might be an end for FNATIC ONIC Philippines. They might be facing a Game 3.
Okay, Kirks starts things off with a pull. Frigid Glacier, they will evade that. Now the Blacklist still has the Lord here. Are they going to be able to go in? Oheb goes in with a Blazing Duet, connecting onto every member as he tears down the minions as well. The Lord still standing tall, but FNATIC ONIC was able to burst down the minions. Going to get a kill onto MP the King. Winter Crown will be popped. Oh, look at Perks from the backline trying to save MP the King. Curse of Blood will connect. MP still manages to escape, but Kilra catches him off guard. That's 2 members down. FNATIC can actually go all mid after they clear the minions.
They're going to have to clear the minions, but I don't know if Blacklist will let them do that.
Okay, Glorious Pathway.
All right, he just dropped it down, delayed going back to the base here. They hold on, but all the lanes are pushing in, so even after getting those 2 kills, you're looking at 30-plus seconds away for Blacklist to be full force. With FNATIC ONIC, they clear out the lanes the best they can. It looks like they're just going to set their sights on mid lane, but the question is, do they only get a turret? And what can Blacklist do with the 3 members they have left up?
Still 20 seconds before Perks, before MP the King respawns. Kirk leading the charge. Are going to clear the minion onto the middle lane. And I think the question to your answer is, they're not going to get any inhibitor turrets.
They might not get anything here. MP the King, Perks will be up. You get that wave pushed in from Kelra. Wave in mid as well. FNATIC has to get a turret. It looks like they will be able to get the mid one. But that's all they get. Slow but steady. 24-minute mark. And they still, this whole time, look at that wave now in their base on the top lane. That's something that FNATIC always has to keep in mind, always has to deal with. And that's the advantage that Blacklist can play around. We still got a turret on the top, turret on the bottom, they say.
Man, I can just commend the whole squad of FNATIC ONIC. Imagine defending a level 4 Lord without inhibitor turrets, with a lot of setups coming in from the opposing team.
Yeah.
With even a beautiful blazing duet from Oheb, they were able to pick off 2 and even get an inhibitor turret right after. So credits to FNATIC ONIC for having that huge defense.
Uh-oh, Kirk.
Oh, Glorious pathway coming in from Super Prince. Lord JM has his own. Now the clash, they want to go for the chase. Perks again still has the flicker plus implosion play, but the problem remains 3 purifies for the side of Sonics.
A whole lot used in that fight. Kirk doesn't have the I'm Offended yet. Haji also used the Frigid Glacier. Glorious Pathway still being waited here for Lord JM. So this Lord is going to be started up. It's brought to half health. Are they actually going to give this a go, or are they going to push this situation further? It goes for a little bit of a reset. 4th of the health here on this Lord here. 5th one of the game. They're going to battle through.
What a move by Kirk! He stopped the concealed play coming in from Perks as Lord JM uses Glorious Pathway. Almost low health here for the Lord. Now Super Friends has his own Glorious Pathway. Spider Miles and Mortality is not going to be Bob Perks. Connects with the Implosion play, but Super Friends gets the Lord as Blazing Duet coming in from Oheb. Omega kill coming in from Kelra. Perks falls down. Haji falls down. Oheb falls down. MP the King with a Winter Crown, but surrounded by 3. Eventually, he's also going to fall down. Sets his eyes on Spider Miles, but doesn't let him get a kill. FNATIC ONIC takes on 4.
FNATIC ONIC will have to defend their base from a push, but they got a whole lot in that team fight. And man, talk about Super Prince able to go and just do everything. Helping the team, save the team, and everything else, the objective, and now FNATIC ONIC will run it down mid lane.
Lord JM needs to channel his inner Chaknu. he needs to delay this as much as possible, but I think it is inevitable. The win of FNATIC ONIC is just moments away from extending the streak. All I can hear is the Sonic screaming because FNATIC is now 9-0.
FNATIC ONIC, you can see Kelra feeling pretty good as well with that rivalry matchup in the golden lane, but man, it's just too much. Just when you thought we'd be seeing a game 3, FNATIC ONIC proves